Alright, we're doing first cuts here on this project for the Hendey tailstock. My boring bar is kind of big, but I'm trying to get everything figured out here. I got my depth set. I just got to get it to cut smooth. I'm hand feeding it. Here goes power feed. It's a 9/16 initial bore, and I am very tight with this bar in that hole. I think I'm tighter than recommended. I'm going to pull it out. It feels like it's not dragging, which is excellent. I'm going to let it go, take a spring pass, and then catch up. My depth of cut, I think, is only 15 or 20 thousandths. I'm running kind of slow. I don't know the RPM, but I bet you I'm running 300 RPM. Because I don't want the steady fingers to get hot. And if I don't have the steady fingers tight, at least snug tight, it chatters. I did not squirt oil in the bore. I believe this is almost the slowest feed that the Hendey has. Or it could be the slowest. I gotta check my Norton box. Here we go, now we're cutting. Alright, let's stop. I forgot to lock down the dang steady rest. I got the cap open here. Oh, do. Alright, that's locked down. Alright, this is my guy that I tighten or loosen. No wonder it was chattering. You go till it's tight, back it off. Give it some more oil. I wanted to record this just so I could get a feel of the first cut. Oh yeah. You try and think of everything and you forget something silly like actually tightening the bolt on the split of the steady rest. You know, I got some black molly oil. It's always good. And it's quite messy. Most of it's rolling down the darn steady rest. I hate to waste that stuff. Anyhow, That's why I monitor, is this getting hot, very closely. I don't think it's hit the area, oh, no, it just hit the area where it stopped. Like I said, I'm going slow here to try and avoid chatter. Slow with the RPMs and with the feed. Say, this is the smallest bar I have, that's the length that I need. You know what, I'm going to stop the power feed and hand feed it because I'm coming up to the top diameter of the bar and I don't want it to rub. We'll pull it out. Go back in. I might have to relieve the bar, I don't know. But the sound of the cut is good. I don't know if that bar is going to rub. Oh, it looks close. Man, it's close. I'm watching right there on the top. You know, I could make more noise and set the vacuum cleaner up on the back end of the lathe and suck all these chips back through the headstock. Oh, she's gonna clear. Dude, I bet you I don't have a few thousandths clearance on the top of the bar. I'm sorry I'm talking so loud. The motor generator on this lathe is quite loud. And I'm thinking about converting it to the VFD. Really, truly. Here's what I want. Brushy brush brush. I'm just being very careful because I don't want to mess this up. I'm going to put the power feed on again. It seems to be a little much, the power feed. I just don't want the chips piling up. So I'm going to hand feed it, I think, and we can use the power feed when I get this hole a little bit larger diameter. But this first initial pass, the full depth of my my Morse taper insert is the most, I guess, hairy. Hairy mean like the most potential for something to get screwed up. That's why I'm hand feeding it to feel if anything's catching or not cutting appropriately correct. This is where manual machining excels, because you got something at the edge of the size of your bar, or the size of your hole, or the size of your hardness of material. You can feel the cut. A CNC, you can't feel jack nothing. I'm feeling the cut right now, and I'm adjusting my feed rate and feed pressure based on what I hear, what I feel, and my sense of vibration. I'm just letting it cut the amount that it wants to cut. And you can't do that with CNC or even just power feeding it. My heart's racing a little bit. I'm excited and I'm cautious, and I'm just using all my senses here. I'm looking, I'm listening. I'm down about an inch. I gotta go, I think, 3 1/4 or 3 1/2. I gotta go however long that this thing is deep. There's about 11 minutes of video. Let me keep going and I'll pause you and bring you back. Wow, that was a 30-second coast down of the motor generator on the Hendey. I've taken 2 cuts of 25 thousandths for a total of 50. That initial cut, it was butt pinching, man. I mean, it had me worried. The second cut went better. I power fed the second cut. The finish is actually not too bad. The second cut under power feed, what I ended up doing is holding the air hose right up against the boring bar, and I'm blowing the chips up, you know, through the headstock. I chipped my carbide insert. Actually, it's a Cermet insert. I think that means ceramic metallic. I got a Sumitomo boring bar, 1/2 inch diameter. So what I did is I rotated my triangle insert, and it started to take the tip off again. So I just polished it up with a diamond file, diamond hone. I got some 3M diamond files, or diamond hones, whatever you call them. And I just put the teeniest, tiniest 10 or 15 thousandths radius on it. Let me peel you out of here. Yeah. I hope you can see this. I know the flashlight's not the greatest color temperature, but we're looking okay. And there again is my triangular insert. You probably cannot see it, but you know, the broken tip is in the pocket of the boring bar. The sharp tip is towards the top of your screen, and the radius tip that I honed around is at the bottom of your screen. So it's cutting really well. Like I said, this is hairy. This takes a while to do. And this is not super warm. It's actually just the tiniest bit of heat in there. I'm going to take a break and let it cool, because it's taxing on my nerves to hear the air compressor running and listen to the cut and hear the darn, you know, it's the motor generator drive. I've got the cooling intakes blocked partially. It's really, it's really loud with these open. I think it had louvers in them. Where they're completely closed, it actually whistles. And the other side, the back side is completely closed off. The front side, I leave just that amount to suck the air in, and it whistles. If I close it all the way. So that's what the deal is. And there's a vacuum tube. Oh, I should have showed it turned on because it glows a pretty purple color deep in there. But anyways, I'm just going to continue on with this. Let me back up and show you my setup. Again, got the tailstock. I'm sorry. Got the steady rest set up. And, you know, where is it? We are almost an inch from not having enough bed. And of course, this is the tailstock ram here that we're working on. All right, do some more, bring you back. All right. We just got out of our bore. Let me shut the machine off. It's a cool neon lamp. Well, I think we're up to about 750 thousandths, 3/4 of an inch. And you know, our goal is 800, so we got 50 more thousandths to go. The bore looks a little haggard because I've been in and out with the boring bar clearing chips, so it's not a smooth finish. Peace and quiet. Like I said, that's why I want to convert this lathe maybe to a VFD and a 3-phase motor. But it's looking really good. I don't know if I want to, I can. This is a 5/8, there you go, 5/8 boring bar, and this will fit in there now. So I can finish with a more rigid bar if I want to. This is the same length as the bar I got in there, except that's a 5/8 bar. And this is a, I'm sorry, that's a 1/2 inch bar, and this is a 5/8 bar. But then you know, I'm set for depth with this one. And if I take a skim cut, this leaves a really good surface finish. So I may just, I'm going to go to like, I don't know, a few thousandths before, maybe 20 thousandths before my final size, something like that. And then just do a couple spring passes to see how good the finish comes out. Maybe try to assess how straight this is. So let me mention something. I've heard it said by people, guys, that, you know, your boring bar is flexing and it's boring a taper. I kind of said that backwards. If you're getting a taper in your bar is flexing. Well, think about this. The stick out is the exact same whether you're entering the bore or you're all the way in and you're touching the bottom of the bore. The stick out is the same, the flex is the same. The only thing that could be possibly different is you gotten chips built up around your boring bar and it's pushing it off. You know, so it makes sense if you think about it. But anyways, instead of blowing with the air hose first I was doing it constant, and then I was doing it intermittently, and now I would stop every 1/4 inch or so and clear out the chips. I sprayed some light oil in there, and it was making, actually curly chips for a bit. I don't want to speed it up at all. I tried speeding it a little, and I feel it's just getting warm, right? That black molly is it just, you know, gets on you. I've been kind of waiting 10 minutes in between each cycle, letting it cool. But I'll measure this up. But like I said, you know, that's our goal, is 800 thousandths. I cut the butt end off of this, and I drilled a 3/8 hole and chamfered it for the knockout tip of the screw. Oh, I got the screw from Roton.com, and it's glorious. It's a beautiful screw. Yeah, she's gonna be nice. 200 thou per rev. All right, I'm gonna let this cool. I'm gonna get a cup of coffee, and we'll bring you back. All right, guys. I'm within about 20 thousandths of our final size of 800. After that last pass, I just advanced the tool 5 thousandths. And I'm doing a straight cleanup pass, just 5 thousandths depth of cut, take out any irregularities from the last cut of pulling the boring bar in and out to clean the chips. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let it run full depth without stopping. You can see by the clearance in the back of the bar, I got a decent amount of chip clearance for chips to fall out. And I mean, you know, there's been a lot of chips, and they all look about like that. You know, they all look about a little bit. Let me turn this lamp a little lower. Come on, Baba. Okay. That should show you what I'm playing with here. And I think it'll leave a really good finish, so I can measure it and plan how much to take. I want this to be a light push fit, or maybe a clearance fit of 1,000. Show you here my, where is it? Whoop. My dial, if it'll focus. Yeah, I just took 5 thousandths from last whatever I bored it to. And then I'll take the tool holder off, and give me some room to measure with calipers, and then maybe some snap gauges. But that's where it's at. I'm really happy that this is working out. Again, I'm sorry I'm shouting because the generator's a bit loud. Let me back up even more. Yeah, baby, the Hendey, making parts to fit her own self. I am so happy making parts on this machine. This thing is so fun. I love that neon light bulb. And that cool old relay electronics. I got the covers for this upstairs, but they're still rusty. I never painted them. Maybe I should do that. What do you think? I think about painting them black. It'd be a nice contrast. I think I want to paint them black. That's silver on smoke gray. Anyhow. Well, let me put the camera down and concentrate. I got a ways to go yet. But I think it's working out well. All right, I can only convey so much excitement. All right, let's bring you back. All right, guys, on my last pass, and I switched up to the 5/8 bar, just to make it more rigid and, you know, get a good finish and all that happy stuff. Taking off the last 2 thousandths of an inch. Gotta go that much further. And we're looking good. We're looking well. There you go. There you go. That's it. Bottomed out. Release the tool. Back off the tool rather. How much chips is piled up? Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. Where am I? Okay. Focus. There you go. You can see that green marker is a little bit oversized entry, but we can either face it off or leave it, or it's only like 2 thou oversized. All right. Let's turn it off, measure it, clean it up, clean it out. So remove this. I bet you that would press in there, because this is egg-shaped a little bit where the letters were written. It's a little bit high. No, it's actually not too bad. I wonder if I should just leave the same number and scrape it out one more time. I think that's what I'll do. All right, I'll bring it back. All right, guys. She's done. You can see down the bore, and it's nice and smooth. Yeah, very happy about that. There's the shaft, right? And it's very nicely, it's done. So here's the socket. So this thing, it tapers a bit. The butt end is smaller. The front end is bigger by like 1.5 thou. So if I go to put this in there, I can push it until right there, and then it gets you know, it's tapered a little bit. So if I goop this entire thing up, yeah, that's it. I don't want to force it. I'll put the key down. That's it. It does not I mean, I'd never get it out. I could get it out from the backside with a rod. But this thing is tapered 1.5 thou from stem to stern. So if I put green Loctite on this guy, I mean, there's hardly any wiggle there. I mean, there's like nothing. So if I only insert it past the tang, I mean, that's 1 thou right there. That's 1/2 thou. Well, if you play with it, you can get it. But that's the clearance I wanted, because you don't want to collapse the big end. I'm shouting again. I'm sorry. I'm so used to the lathe being on. Yeah, you don't want to collapse the big end or else your taper won't fit properly. So this is just really nice. So if the keyway is on the bottom, I want that cross slot, I guess, to be sideways. I don't know what fits better. 180 out? It doesn't matter. It seems to fit good right there for whatever reason. And then this tang is at a 45-degree angle, which is kind of strange. I would think it'd be best right there is, yeah, that's perfectly sideways. I guess it doesn't matter. I want the least amount of distortion. That fits really good right there. I don't know. I know green Loctite will hold like crazy, and I got some fresh stuff, but I don't think it matters. So, anyways, I got to do the other end now for the Acme nut. So, all right, it's 4th of July. There's fireworks going on. It's like 11:30, I think. Until next time, this is Doozer Shop.